Yeah, well, the ones we had were they were on wheels.
Yeah.
And they were about 4 feet tall, 5 feet long, and
Hmm.
I think 2 feet wide. Yeah, and you could put a pack with a whole bunch of platters in there, drop it in, had a big lid popped open, and
Yeah, if you want to see like there's some pictures out there on the web of the very first IBM hard disks,
Yeah.
and they only had one head. So the head came all the way out and moved up and down between platters, and they were hydraulically driven.
oh, geez.
Yeah, they used hydraulics for positioning and
Yeah,
pistons.
the neat thing about those SMD drives is the heads, all the heads had little wings on them,
Hmm.
so
Yeah, they
they
float.
they park and well, no, not float, they fly. They
Right.
actually,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they actually
Yeah.
had a
Well, that's what I
airfoil.
was saying, but yeah.
Yeah, they had an airfoil so that they would fly.
Yeah.
And
Most hard disks work that way, even
yeah,
today.
Yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
have that's why you park the drives before you stop them, because you
right,
move the heads to a position where setting down is not going to damage data.
yeah.
Yeah. It's also why you lose data if you lose the power on your hard disks. Yeah.
Head crash. Yep.
Hey,
Yeah,
Patrick, you getting any sleep recently?
Patrick,
No, not too much.
I know. I've been watching the changes coming in like it's a flurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was sick and had a cough, so I couldn't sleep anyway. So
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I literally I'll hit my GitHub client and I'll say, "Oh, update," and then I'll come back 5 minutes later and there's five new posts.
yeah, I just kind of get Claude going and then go do something else.
Yeah, working good though.
Yeah.
You know what? What's really funny, I haven't used it yet. So, so I'm glad it, because when I do watch him, I can just see, well, that's wrong. Ah, that's wrong. Ah, I got to fix that. Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm finally getting. So I did a 0.1.0 release,
oh wow.
and now I'm working
Okay.
on it because I need to make sure releases work. And now I'm working
Yeah.
on 0.1.1. But the solve's actually looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy
Awesome.
with
I haven't
this with
tried
the
that
Oh,
solve.
yet.
cool. No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's like loading from WAV files and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
Yeah.
you'll have to get some of the
Like
other
that.
guys here tinkering with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Great functionality.
Yeah, it's a very different approach to building your simulator. So I haven't seen anything quite like it. It's so intuitive to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with it so far.
Yeah.
Can't wait to use it.
Actually do something with it as opposed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
found, like I mentioned to Patrick, when I was doing SimH, I noticed one of the CPUs would just be like locked up right to
Right.
100% most of the
Yeah.
time, probably pulling something. I mean, again, the new one, AltSim, or Altair Sim, it'll go up, but most of the time it only goes up when when it's actually doing something, when it's resting and
Right.
sitting there waiting for him, but it's not like
Right.
pegging one of my CPUs. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, I mean, I just finally. I mean, I've been wanting to do this a long time, but it's like, man, this is gonna take 6 months. You know? So
6 weeks, was that it? Not
yeah, so
even.
now it's done in 6 days. So
Yeah, yeah, there you are. Absolutely amazing, you know.
Yeah, you'll have to do a demo for the guys. That way you'll get to
Yeah,
use it
yeah,
yeah,
next week.
next week. Okay.
And like I said, I don't even know how to use it yet. So I'll.
Like I said, I find the bus board concept
yeah,
is
Mhm.
super intuitive because you just build your computer. You just
yeah,
select
Yeah,
the cards you want and plug them into the bus, and okay, now let's go connect them to something.
yeah.
yeah. And actually, what no really drove me to it is I wanted to muck with that programming system,
Uh-huh.
and it's like you need two SIO boards.
Yeah.
And I looked at the Altair, the other Altair, and it's like, I can't put in 2 SIO boards.
Yeah.
I can only put in 1.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well,
Oh, you already got too many cards in there?
I mean, it doesn't have a concept of like cards, boards.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yes.
It's like
Yes.
you have like a. I think I could have fudged it to get it
Right.
to work, but it's like, no, I want to actually have 2 SIO boards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's. Oh, we'll do that.
Well, I mean, also you can do stupid stuff, and move things around and have, oh, I want 12 serial ports, so I'll put, 6 2SIOs in there and
Yeah.
run. I mean, I don't know. Can we do banked memory yet?
Yeah, well, there's I think it's I haven't tested it yet, but it supports I think 5 different boards.
Right, because I was thinking about tinkering with like some of the multi NPM type stuff and
Yeah, there's
seeing what
no
happens.
unfortunately as far as I know, there's no banked standard. So I
I'll
think there's
guarantee there isn't. Yeah.
yeah, I think there's 5 different boards and I can't remember which ones.
Okay.
But and again, I have to make sure there's a test for that. So
Yeah.
I don't know that he's actually. I'm sorry, Claude has actually tested
But yeah.
bank memory. I know I haven't.
And also, well, CPM3 also uses bank memory, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Which is single user, so you're only
It
adding
can.
one level of complexity.
yeah, they have banked and non-banked
Right.
versions of 3. And I know and that's what I'll do probably. Right now I'm working on just a few like example packages. I think there's like a CPM, Disk Basic, the Sol, I can't remember, and I'll add like a CPM3 that actually gets distributed with it,
Mm-hmm.
with the releases. That's kind of what we're working on now.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun trying to break it and coming up with bizarre ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do this.
Well, yeah, I think I really because you guys have printers. I really want to try the printer thing.
Yeah. Well, I've got a USB to Centronics arriving tomorrow.
Okay.
But I don't have a Centronics printer yet because I
Okay.
haven't decided who I'm going to give my money to at eBay for an old printer.
So now I have a Centronics. I'm questioning whether my interface between cups in it is the problem a little bit because it seems to be a little quirky.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do have this is a Panasonic. I bought a same printer I owned when I was in high school. I literally found it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, bought another one of those, to kind of relive it. But
Right.
I do have a Epson out in the garage, an
Right.
Epson MX80,
Yeah.
which I might bring in. That might be a little more compatible
Okay.
and friendly with all this.
Yeah,
so.
I'm looking at the Oki Datas, the Microline 82A, because I had one of
Oh,
those back
yeah.
in the early 80s.
Those are great.
They're great bulletproof printers.
Yeah,
Mine's
absolutely.
I picked up a 193, the big wide one.
Yeah.
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 293 or 193?
193.
193. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember. There was a
193.
290.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
I used to have one too, and I had to pick one up just like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been looking at all the listings for 82As because I had an 82A and I haven't seen one that I've said, yeah, that one looks good.
Yeah, it has to look right.
Has to look right.
So,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
missed one a couple weeks ago. There was one that was new old stock, still in the box.
oh,
And I almost bought it at the time, and I thought, nah, I really don't have room for it. Now I wish I bought it because I'd be using it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah,
did you have a chance to look at the issue on the printer and printing to to your printer queues?
So right now, yeah. So what I did is, I went through and I have a little basic program running in CPM on the emulator, and I'm turning on the Python script that Tim designed. And when I run it, it actually puts a job. I pause the queue, puts the job in the queue. I then went into cups because you can look at the spool and you actually see what's in that file. And it literally shows, it just says hello world, which is what it's supposed to show. So the data's there. But when I go and release the job, nothing's coming out in the printer.
Okay.
Yeah,
So again, it's I think it might be the cups. I'm not sure how.
Yeah,
how
if you
reliable
looked
that
at the
is.
stuff that Patrick posted from his chat with Claude about this,
Yeah.
it says something about setting up direct printing through cups. So it's
Yeah,
not
for like a
queuing,
raw
it's
mode.
just sending it. It's raw mode.
Okay, so right now I did try to set it as a raw driver is essentially
Right.
is the way I understand
Okay.
raw mode is, and we do that a lot at work because we have some old or we use intermic printers, tag printers, and we always we code everything in the program, not in or through our system, not through the drivers.
Hmm.
It's literally just going out as a binary
Right.
stream to them.
Hmm.
I tried that yesterday and it didn't work. And then because I even tried like a test page, nothing printed. So today I um, switched it back to the generic IBM dot matrix or whatever I've been using, because I think I have the little switch on my system set up as an IBM compatible.
Uh-huh.
And I've been just trying to do a test page, and it started to print and then it hung.
Mm.
Okay, so it could be the Centronics adapter I have. I don't think they
Right.
were expensive ones.
Yeah.
There could be a lot of things wrong here. It's not something I was ever had reliability with.
Yeah.
So, but I'll take a look at the raw again
Yeah.
and kind of go that way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I'll say once I pick a printer up, which won't take long.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
maybe after the meeting I'll go out and grab that
Epson.
Epson there. Yeah, and
Yeah,
throw
those
that in.
Epsons are pretty good. I had one of those after I had the Okidata.
Yeah. I had great luck with this Panasonic, but then thinking about it years ago, I was hooked to a TI. I had a 99 whole TI 99 system back then, and so it just seemed to work with that really well.
Mhm.
So this one, I've been trying. I think way back, I tried to get it to print from. I was in Altair Drino actually at the time. I was playing around with one of those, which had a Centronics card in it and everything.
Right.
And it only printed, wouldn't print from CPM. I could never get that to work, but I could get it to print from BASIC. So,
Mm.
so right now,
to print from CPM, you got to get the right drivers in the BIOS.
Yeah, and that, yeah. So
we might
from
have to
BASIC,
have to do some BIOS changes for CPM to work. But
for BASIC, essentially, they're going out 3, and I'm just kind of
right.
sending it out. I think it was port 3 that it's sitting on. So, and like I said, the data, it literally gets all the way to cups, and it's sitting in the data file on the spooler. So
we also need to take a look inside the old Altair Basics, the pre-CPM stuff that you load off tape, because they all ask you at the start, about printers. So we have to I need to go into the manual and find out what they expect the printer to be.
It gives you an O or something. O for
it's
Okidata.
It's OC.
Well, and I just looked at that, and it's actually specifying the printer hard, like whether you're a C700 or a 88, whatever. Yeah, it seems like I can care less about the printer that's connected to it. So I just learned C is the C700, so I just use that in our tests.
So then we basically just load BASIC from tape and tell it we've got a Centronics, and it should print to it, assuming it's at the right I/O ports. Awesome. That might be a better test than CPM.
In fact, if you tell it you got a C700, and I just added this basic 4.1 to and you say print, it should print your text files like you guys are doing now.
Right.
So
cool. I mean,
LPrint and all that stuff works. LList works to a C700 with basic Altair.
Yeah. Well, we're testing out Patrick's new Magic Simulator.
Cool.
Which is so much better than SimH.
This is the Claude assisted one?
Yes.
I think I'm the assistant, but yeah.
This one Claude made to do his own testing?
Yeah. No, this is Rev 3.
Oh, okay.
It's something else.
Yeah, what I did before is we got it so Claude could actually run the Altair SimH simulator. And then some stuff came up, and it's like, you know what? I'm so tired of fudging around with SimH and its limitations for what we're trying to do. There's just a new one.
So how deep did it go? Did it write a complete 8080 emulator?
Oh, we've done 8080, Z80. We've done Assault.
So it did the whole instruction set.
Oh yeah. It even runs the test to find all the crazy stuff.
Well, not only that,
we're loading. We're loading Trek 80 from WAV files through a tape port.
Wow.
I mean, it's awesome.
It uses a different model. It's basically a bus and Altair cards that you plug into it. So you can say, I want an Altair with an 8080 CPU, 2K of RAM, and a tape drive, and that's it. And that's what you get. So you actually plug in the actual cards by name.
Yeah, and multiple cards. You can name them yourself, and we actually found out. I think the Trek 80s on your website are bad and have framing errors in them and stuff. So loaded it from int, and then it created a new WAV file. We just said, C save, and it made a WAV file, and then loaded it back in that way, and it was okay. But
Yeah, some of those I generated from data.
Yeah.
Others were actual tapes, I think. I can't remember.
But yeah,
so who knows? It's algorithm. It's modem that it made said, hey, I'm getting framing errors on these. I'm blah blah blah. So I'd love to try those on real.
So what is it? Trek 80?
Yeah, Trek 80. So I'd love for like someone like Tim that has the cassette stuff to actually use the WAV files.
Yeah, no, I'm curious
okay.
too. I
see
can
if
do
they
that
work.
as well.
Okay, I've got to figure out, because the normal way I've been making tapes is with Mike's CPM disk, where you load them from tap file. We create the tapes from tap files.
Yeah, and then I'd love to send a WAV that the simulator made to someone that can actually put it on tape and load it and see if it actually loads.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Because I could load from tape. So if you could, I just need to save it to tape. Maybe I should be able to do that from my computer.
Yeah, it's in examples. Sol, I think, in the repository. There should be a Trek 80.wave that.
Okay, I'll have
Where is that?
That it made. I put it in the chat.
I mean, it's on my site.
Oh no! I found it in. It was buried somewhere.
Okay, well, then I probably haven't tried it.
It might have been. What do you have, like a CFE? Blah blah. I can't remember where I found it.
There is a CFE, I think, directory somewhere.
But I can find where I found it.
Mike, you don't test everything you've posted on there?
No, it's not on my site, he said.
Oh no, it is on your site.
Oh, it is. Okay.
But it might have been like in like the CFE stuff. Like I think you archived somebody else's site.
Oh, Martin stuff. MFE?
Yes, let me find it.
No, I didn't test all Martin stuff. No.
Okay. Let me find out where it was
at. Yeah, I didn't turn chat on ahead of time, and so I don't get chats posthumous. How do you say that? Posthumously?
Yeah.
How do you say that word?
Posthumously?
It's not posthumously. It's the opposite, whatever the hell it is. Yes.
There you go.
Pre, it's not post. Yeah.
The old stuff. He didn't see any of the old stuff.
Right.
I don't remember where it is. Oh, it's probably not even there.
Hey, Chad. It's good to see you again, bud.
But yeah, Mike, when you get a chance to try out Patrick's new simulator, it is an order of magnitude easier to use than SimH.
Oh, good. And that's on.
It's in chat right now. Yeah, it's on GitHub. You just download it and build it. I don't think you've got it already ready to run yet, have you, Patrick?
Yeah. If you click on not the current one, I mean, I can I could put a link where the artifacts are. But release 0.1.0, if you click on that, there's zip files you can download for Mac, Linux, and Windows.
Okay.
That I have not tried yet.
Yeah, I haven't got. Yeah.
So
I'm still doing a Git pull.
So the one,
me too.
So the one we used was Mike was downloads, processor technology, Sol 20, software, tape WAV files. That's the one that we started with. And then down at the bottom, there's a TRK.
Now, which format was that in? Was that in Kansas City or was that in?
I think that one's actually whatever the Sol uses, because it won't let you read a Kansas City.
I was going to say, no wonder it didn't work.
I mean,
what are you simulating? The Altair one?
No, I'm doing the Sol and the Altair. All right. I'm doing the ACR and the.
So you're doing the biphase Sol?
Yeah.
ACS?
The Kansas City and whatever the other one is.
Yeah, okay.
And if you try to load, like if you try to read those on the Altair, it'll say no.
Right.
It'll say,
I think those are.
Format.
I think the ones here on Sol are actually somebody's recordings. So yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like it said, like it was able to read the header and stuff. It just throughout the file, it said.
Oh yeah, Philip Lord. So those came from Philip Lord.
Okay.
So no, I probably haven't loaded but one or two of these at some point. So Trek80.wave gave you problems?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I'd love to have someone with real stuff see if they get the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got a real one. I'll try it someday. I've got a Cuts board and a Sol 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a Sol 20, so I can't do the real one on that, but I can do any Altair real one
The
stuff.
Trek 80, is it just text or does it use Sol 20 graphics?
It uses Sol 20 graphics.
Okay. So you've got a Sol 20 emulation already done by Claude too?
Yep.
Damn.
It's been a busy
I'm
week.
glad I'm not starting my career right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, but Mike, I'm telling you, like you can do stuff fast, but there's no way he could have done this without input.
Right. So it still needs a human to get the job done, but look how much quicker it is. This
And
is
it's
insane.
constant. I mean, we're on like commit 200 and something now because it's just.
No, and VI is great.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, Claude needs a lot of direction.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just doing testing and I've lost track of the number of times I've rebuilt the simulator. It's like about every 20, 30 minutes, it's like, oh, there's some changes. Let's go rebuild it. Go
Let me,
push.
yeah. Like I said, I found there's artifacts now that I think you can get that'll just have Mac, Linux, and actually it might just have Linux unless I do a certain change. Then it is the other two.
So this is just command line and I can assemble it under MinGW on Windows or?
No, it should work in VS Code.
In what?
In VS Code, the Microsoft Visual Studio.
Oh, Visual Studio?
Yeah.
I mean, do you do it from a command line or in a
I don't do anything.
environment?
I don't do anything. I say I hate Windows.
I'm talking about even on your Linux machine. Do you just run a make?
No.
Or do you
Right
run
now,
an IDE of some sort?
it's being built by GitHub.
Okay.
But I did download the repository. I got Claude working on my Windows machine, and probably 4 days ago we went through it. It's using CMake I'm using Visual Studio 2022, and then you bring up a Visual Studio command prompt because Windows has like 5 command prompts and they all do different things. So you bring up a Visual Studio command prompt and just type CMake build and blah blah blah, and you'll have an executable.
Okay.
You shouldn't even need to. It should have everything it needs. The only thing that if you want to run the Sol, and then it will need the SDL3 library, which I'm not sure how you get that on Windows yet. You just don't on Windows. You don't do apt install. You like spend 10 hours on the internet and try to figure out where it is and how
Hope you don't get a virus. Yeah.
I hope you don't get a virus.
And then it breaks all the other stuff, so you format your hard drive and start over.
Well, you reboot a few times
That's
first.
what real Sol 20 is for. You don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. I wish I had one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Ours it's not working when I turn it on again, but we'll see.
I've got one here that I could possibly try it on. I have a Sol 20.
Are they temperamental machines? The Sols, I've heard people say that they get.
I didn't have that much trouble, although I have corrosion, and so I need to reseat certain chips periodically.
That's the big problem.
The parts I had to fix in my computer were all related to serial ports and cassette. So the UART, the same 6011 UART that's under 5 or 6 different names, I had one of those fail in a state where it almost worked, but not quite, like I was describing the other week. It's like, it's not a failure, it's just doing something wrong. That means there's some sort of state machine in there that's clearly like a microcode, and a bit or two is rotted. And so it's really close to being right, but it's not. And then one of my replacements ended up being bad as well. And then the AGC circuit in the cassette was not working. So, which is nice. I mean, this is like one of the few cassette boards or modules, whatever you want to call that, since it's built into the main board, that actually has an AGC on it, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I got that working. So who knows what'll happen next time I try it. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's not working. Mine's not booting right now either.
But yeah, maybe I can do that this week. I've been looking for smaller projects to do at night because I'm not in the mood for a big project. I never have enough time to get into it. But little projects that I can do in a night, those are perfect right about now because Yeah, I can't do anything big. I just can't get consistent enough time to accomplish anything.
Mm.
Well, there's a developer guide, and it has basically how to build it. I'll spend some time in the next day or two and get the Windows stuff up.
Well, I'll just run it on the saw and I'll just try that Trek 80.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Problem is, I know for a fact playing it from a Windows machine, it's dramatically dependent on the codec in your audio system.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
I got to figure out how to write it to tape. I mean, how did you do it? You just took that recording and did what with it? Claude, or the code looked at the actual data. It never went to a media of any sort, right?
Yeah, he looked at the data, and then he knows what the waveforms are, and so then
I think I need to put it on my old iMac. I have the big flat screen iMac from the early 2000s, and its codec was pretty genuine. But I know for a fact my Windows machine, you can put in a sine wave, and what comes out is not. I ran into that doing my little board, trying to get it to run at 4800 baud, the cassette interface board that you guys are using. Yeah, so that definitely changes everything. And that's pretty common. I used to have to pick a computer to get audio out reliably.
So that's a good point, Patrick. If you've got Claude converting the raw like tap files to audio, to WAV files, what codec is he using?
The one he made. It's built into the simulator.
Yeah.
So it's the same codec on every operating system.
When I did it for the Altair, I literally generated sine waves and put those numbers in. So extremely brute force.
Oh, look at that.
It still took it a half a second, so it's not like it took any time.
Right, yeah.
So I literally used a sine function and created perfect sine waves at the two frequencies. Of course, the biphase Sol 20 is a little different than that, but you could still do the same thing. In fact, I did that back working on that, trying to figure out why it didn't work. And that's when I finally realized it has nothing to do with the data I created. It has to do with the codec in my machine, modifying it. So, because if I look at the waveform in a sound editor like Goldwave, it's perfect. When you play it and look on the scope, totally different, even though it kind of sounds right. It's not. And that's how they get all the compression and make it sound right is, yeah, it's not a perfect representation of the waveform, but a .wav file is. So WAV file has a sample for every period of your sampling rate. So I'm sure what Claude did was probably stepwise generate actual waveforms. It's probably right.
Yeah.
Is that posted? Is that fixed Trek 80 posted on your GitHub?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I could probably get a link right to it.
I just need to figure out. I would need to figure out how.
There we go. That looks good.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Figure out how to get it onto the saw.
PC
do you not have a cassette player on there?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make it difficult. or even an audio input. You have the cassette ports, right?
I mean,
built in.
You can write your own if you want, and do a PC get of the tape data file, and then write it to your own tape, and verify that reads. Use that as your baseline. As far as taking his file, I think you'd have to take it out of your computer into the input jack on a tape recorder, right?
Yeah.
Or try playing it straight across. But you probably want an old computer, oldest you got.
The oldest I got is an old Altair.
Maybe not that old.
Well, you know what? It wouldn't be that hard to write something that played a WAV file, would it? I guess there's not many D-to-A boards out there, is there?
No. I can't imagine there's a lot of D-to-A boards.
Well, that's one of the things I want to work on eventually is get a couple of A to D and D to A boards running.
Yeah.
Well, I have a few of the process control boards, but I don't think any of those actually had digital analog. You could turn on relays and it could accept optically isolated inputs. I've got those for the 680 and for the 8800. But yeah, I don't think they have any A to D or D to A's on them. I think they made one of those too, though.
Wow.
So Mike, I put the link in the chat to where the
Okay.
wave is. And if you look at the bottom, if you go to GitHub, there's a README at the bottom, and it says that it says the ones we got from DRAMP had some errors, so we derived our own.
Okay, you need to put all of Claude's language in a separate font so we know who's talking. Figure out how to make this zoom like I can with a normal camera. I don't know. Do you guys remember your Flex 64 boards enough that you can get an idea of what I'm doing?
Yeah, I played with one today. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go through what Walt wanted, which was Cutter and ALS 8 and half of the ROM, and then something like AMON in the other half, let's say.
Okay.
You have to do those in quote. You don't have to do halves on this thing at all. You can use the whole thing. But if you want to do halves, then that switch allows you to have both halves in the same spot. So AMON is up at F800, and likewise ALS8 is up at that address. So you can't have them both in there at once, right? So the idea of two halves is reasonable. There's a lot of ways to get the same thing done. Do you want to start from the point where you didn't have any monitor? Well, then you'd have to toggle in something on the front panel. That's kind of a pain in the neck. So I'm going to assume maybe you had an FTC Plus. Can you guys see the FTC Plus back here?
Yes.
Okay, so the FTC Plus has AMON on it. AMON needs a stack. The stack pointer loads at C1000, which means it needs RAM up there at the top of BF100, right? Does that make everybody knows that?
Yeah.
All right, so if you look on here, I've got RAM disabled. Can you see that, or do I need to pick up the phone?
Yeah.
The RAM is disabled in the FTC Plus, and I'm at F800 for ROM enabled on here, which will be my Altmon when I turn this on. As far as the Flex board, the EEPROM runs from 8,000 hex all the way through FFFF, right? You can just enable the whole thing for a generic solution and then program anything you want. Or you could say, hey, I'm programming something at C1000 and at E1000, let me just enable those. But for now, I've just enabled everything on the EEPROM. So 8,000, 9,000, 8,000. I turned off B1000 because that has to be RAM while I boot up the FTC Plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do is turn the computer on, load the programming software with the hex load function to Altmon, and then turn off my FTC Plus. Because once you got the program in there, you don't need it anymore. So I only need it to load the program. So any way you can load the program, then you can turn that part off. FTC Plus is nice because the switches are on top. You know, Martin's board, you couldn't reach down inside and do it. This is Martin's board, but I don't use any proms on it at all. All right, so the FTC Plus is going to come on. Altmon is going to come on. I enabled RAM, the B1000 4K block so that Altmon has its stack. And then everything else is turned on for the EEPROM, 8,000 all the way through FFFF, except F800 through FFF right now is this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go figure out how to turn on my desktop. Where is shared desktop? You know, off the top of their head?
It's at the bottom, usually you get to the bottom of the screen, you'll see share.
Sharing is not turned on.
Oh,
Patrick might have to do
Patrick
something.
or whoever's the.
Walt
I
might
just
be able
sent
to
a
do that.
request. Did it work?
We're not seeing a desktop yet.
All I'm seeing is everybody else talking.
What somebody needs to enable desktop sharing.
I did. He should be able to do it now.
Okay, try again. There
I'm
we
trying to
go.
figure out how to make that the default.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ask Claude.
Yeah, get Claude a Zoom account.
Good idea. I'll do that right now.
He can run the meetings for us.
I'm trying to give you a bigger font so you can see the screen. There it is.
Well, if you want, Mike, just down the road, when you share, I think you can tell it just share that one window.
You can, yes. You can share
Instead of your
Windows
entire
or the
desktop.
screen, yeah.
But this will be fine.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to turn on the computer. Got to turn on my power strip. Texas storm, I always turn off power strips. All right, good sign. All right, so we're running on the FTC Plus using the RAM just for the stack over on the Flex 64K board. And I'm only doing this long enough to get the program software loaded. So this is what's up on the website in the folder for the RAM board, Flex 64. The program using a 2SIO. And you can see it's loading at 100. So then you just jump to 100. So at this point, now we'll go back to my phone. Do I have to turn off the desktop, or can you guys jump to my phone?
If you double click on the phone picture, guys, you can switch between the desktop and the phone.
Yep.
Okay, has everybody got the computer in view then?
Yep.
All right, so at this point, I'm gonna turn off EEPROM on this board because it's not running anymore.
So you can do that while it's powered up. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I never thought of that. That's
And now I want to turn on, give that to the EEPROM on the Flex 64K board. So now this EEPROM is totally off, and this has that same spot now on. And now I want to turn on RAM. And on the Flex 64K, I want to turn off the RAM. You always turn off first and then turn something on. So I'm going to turn off the RAM, and I'm going to turn on the EEPROM. Okay, so at this point, I have 8,000 all the way through FFFF enabled as ROM on here. And my software is now running. So I can do anything I want. All right, so the software is going to tell me to turn on the programming switch, which is switch 3. This enables the EEPROM. So I'm just going to turn that on for now. And you'll see that we have, if you were swapping halves, the first half is on. Or you can just treat this as a big 32K EEPROM. It doesn't make any difference. But right now, 8,000 is at 8,000 and C1000 is at C1000. This is just the EEPROM is exactly itself. All right, so now we want to program the EEPROM. If you want to go back to the screen sharing, so that's item 1. It says make sure the switch is on. We already did that. So send the hex file. So let's just go ahead and do AMON because it's going to be at F800, right? So in general, what you want to do is get the hex file that actually is ready to run in a computer if you loaded that hex file. So when I assemble AMON, it assembles at F800. So this says it will be written from F800 to FFFE. You want to do that? Sure. So I hit program, and that's done. What else do you want to put in next? I want to put in cutter. So there's 2 ways you can do that. I want cutter to be the other half of that EEPROM, right? So C1000 is really at 8,000. Or I could go swap halves on that EEPROM right now and put it at C1000. Which way do you want to do it? Do you want to subtract 4,000 from everything in your head? And watch, well, let me do one of them that way so you can see how you move it. Okay, so now we want to program cutter. So you just take the actual cutter that you would get from the website, it's at C1000. And this tells you it's going to write from C1000 through C800. But that's wrong. Because I want this down in the other half of this EEPROM, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I subtract 16K from C1000, you get 8,000. So I say, I actually want this in this EEPROM as it exists right now at 8,000. Says, okay, we're going to put it at 8,000 to 8,800 instead. Okay, that's done. Now, the other way we could have done that, so go back to your view of the computer. The other way we could have done that is to go ahead and put 8,000 through C1000 up in the top of memory where you're actually going to run it in this case, right? So again, always turn a switch off and then on. Okay, that's swap the halves, right? So 8,000 through C1000 is now up at C1000 through FFFF. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing if you go back to the terminal screen. Now we're going to write ALS 8, which is at E1000 through FFFF. Now, if I hadn't have swapped it, I would have put it at what? 8,000, right?
Mhm.
8,000
Yeah.
BFFF. But now that I've swapped it, I can just put it where it actually is. So you can do it either way. So now I'll send ALS8. And again, you send the actual file that's out there. You don't have to do any moving or anything. This is a big one.
It just occurred to me that Zoom is not gonna
Record this? No.
record your desktop.
Zoom will record the desktop, but it'll minimize the
Well, it's got
videos.
Zoom is recording the shared desktop, which is
Yes.
a computer, not
Right.
not this cell phone info.
Right. Yeah, the cell phone input, we won't be able to get that on the recording, but kind of
Yeah,
everything.
I should have thought of that ahead of time. I could have recorded on my computer this part.
Yeah. We'll know for next time, Walt.
All right, so this natively runs at E1000 through FFFF, and I have the swap. I've already swapped the halves, so I don't need to put this down at 8,000.
Right.
I've swapped the halves, so I'm gonna just leave it right where it is in programming. Okay, well, I'm done. So I've written all three of those. So now you go back here. As Patrick knows, you got to make sure you turn off the program enable switch. Otherwise, some errant bus cycles will clobber you. Okay, so right now I have the alternate half enabled, which means the cutter and ALS8. I can't demonstrate that on here very well. So let's go ahead and go back to the original configuration. This is where I put AMON up at the top, right? So now if I do a reset and examine F800 and hit run, I should get AMON. See if this works. Stop, examine, run. All right, so now we're at AMON. RAM enabled up through 8,000. So one nice thing about AMON is it finds the top of RAM itself. You put the stack there. That'd be handy to have in AltMon. The problem is I have squeezed and can't fit that feature in there without getting rid of something else. But it would be very handy if AltMon did not have a fixed stack. If you could get rid of anything in AltMon that you don't care about in order to have a floating stack, what would it be?
I mean, all you need is to be able to find top of memory and stick your stack there. Yeah.
Right, but I have 0 bytes available basically.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to free up
stack
some.
list.
Yeah, and I think it already has the logic to find top of memory.
RAM top is in there. It won't take much.
Yeah, it won't take much, but you got to do it without a stack.
Yeah. Well, no, you could put the stack. Well, for example, in the memory test, I have it automatically avoid the stack page. That will now, instead of it being an immediate instruction, that's going to have to pull it from a variable. So there's going to be a few changes. But the routine to find the top of RAM could do the same thing. It could skip over the stack and not clobber it. And you can put that down at 100 hex or something.
Mike, could I see there's an exchange block of memory and then there's a move blocks of memory. Can one kind of take care of what the other function is doing? Like, could the move actually do do an exchange would be a move? Would leave it blank.
Well, I mean, you can do it manually.
Yeah.
You know, move everything to 1,000. I was
trying to think of something that would,
I haven't revisited this in a long time. I visited it in detail a while back, and yeah, the fact that it broke the memory test routine too, where it avoids the stack, and then the ability to read and do an in and out uses a variable on the stack. That would no longer be hard coded. So it adds code to other routines having a soft stack pointer.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how that works. Again, there's not any one way to do it. There's multiple ways you could do it, whatever is convenient for you. But
hey, Mike, can you go through on your term setup, just do all those 3 steps again of doing it, and I can record all the term stuff on my computer here, so I can add it to the Zoom thing, so everybody can see that later on when it's online.
Well, we should see the teraterm stuff. With the stuff we'll miss
No,
is
no,
the
no.
switches.
Zoom only gets what his desktop shows. It's I've got a
Yeah.
full screen of his tera term, so
Oh.
I can get a good recording. So it's easy.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'll do it quick then.
Okay, hey, let me let's see, 1920 by 1080. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I got 4, 3, 2, 1. It's gonna start recording. Anytime.
All right, let's go ahead.
Yeah, go right from the start of the tera term stuff.
All right, so the first thing I'll do is I'll program in AMON up at F800. So you choose program EEPROM. I've already turned on switch 3, so PROM will program. And you send the file. It will do AMON. This is just the actual output from the assembler up at F800. This will tell you it's right in F800. And that's where I want it to be in the ROM, right where it's going to execute. So I'll say P to program. And it's done. Now we want to program cutter in. It's at C1000. So I'll send cutter straight out of its assembler. And you'll see that it comes in at C1000. However, I don't want it at C1000 in this PROM as it sits, because this is going to be cutter and ALS8, which will end up overriding that AMON if I don't put it somewhere else in that EEPROM. So I'll put it in the bottom half of that EEPROM. So instead of being at C1000, I want it at 8000 in the current memory space, which will put it in the bottom of that EEPROM. So I can just type in a new address, and now it tells me it's going to be at 8000 instead of C1000. Doesn't execute at 8000, it still executes at C1000. No, we haven't relocated code or anything. And that's done. And then what I demonstrated finally was to put an ALS8, rather than subtract 4000 hex from that and put it at 8000. The other thing you could do would be to swap the halves of the EEPROM, which I just did over on the board. So now E1000 is really at E1000. Bottom half of the ROM, A1000, is now in memory at this instant at the E1000 location. So when I send ALS8 and it wants to be at E1000, I can just program it there. Yeah, and this one's 8K, so it takes a while. So it tells me it's going to be E1000 to FFFF, and I have swapped halves, so now that is the right address, so I just say program. And it's done. And that's it. Then you just turn switch 3 back off, and you're good to go. Now, Chad, is this your first time here?
I was here last week, just kind of listen. Does everyone here have a 8800C? I mean,
Mostly
everyone here has one. Okay, I have your emulator version. So.
Oh, my Altair clone?
Yeah, I have the
From
Altair clone. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you could do all that stuff on there, right?
Everything.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, not with real cars, but any software thing you could do on that.
Yeah.
I thought you had some real hardware you were bringing up as well.
I do. I have. Yeah, I got an 8800, a real one. Two of them. I got an 8800B, but I'm just working on getting like my workshop set up in the garage. So, I'll share a picture of what I was going through my stuff. So,
You have air conditioning, or is it going to be any time but summer that you get to work?
there's some of my boxes. Yeah.
Those are heavy.
Yeah, that's just some of them. That's not even like my Apple stuff. You know, I was into Apple for a while. I get kind of like go around and do different things, you know. So, but I haven't had a place to do, you know, the stuff. So this is good, place to start with you guys to try to, when I can, pull something out and start doing stuff. So, and then I got that mini disc last week, so I kind of wanted to hook that up to my 8800B sometimes. So, but
Did you already have my FTC Plus or not?
that I'm gonna get from you. I have you sent me an email, so I have to get that from you.
Yes, you're one of the few people that'll actually get to use it with a real mini disc. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of like looking to really, really to do that. But I just went through my garage today, so I was like setting up like my table, and it's and then organizing things where writing bins where I don't have all the setups that you guys have. I'm looking at like Tony's and Todd's and Terry's and your stuff, Mike. And
I don't have nothing anywhere near as many tools and that those guys have.
Yeah, so yeah, that stuff is, like, but I can pick and choose which one. But this is good, like learning experience to try to do that. But I really kind of would like to get an 8800 to see to make one, but
Well, you got real ones. Why bother?
Yeah. Just it's afraid when you turn them on.
Yeah,
they work. It's just like but I was trying to figure out like if you like if you had different like newer cards like and you put them in there. I don't know how that would work.
Well, so a lot of the 8800C is primarily new cards that are either replicas or functional replicas.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff we're doing is using hardware. Like my 8800C has no original cards in it. It's all new stuff.
Or it can be the exact opposite. You can have a completely original out there where the only thing that's new in your 8800C is essentially the power supply. Well, even that you don't have to do, I guess.
You don't have to, yeah.
Basically, the only thing is the front panel, but theoretically you could put an old front panel, and then it's just a cabinet. But I think minimum 8800C is probably the new style cabinet and the new style front panel.
Yeah.
And that has
New
one
style
board that plugs
motherboard.
into the bus. And then after that, it can all be original boards.
Yeah.
I mean, I like you, I tend to use mine because I'm afraid my other one will break when I turn it on. I use my B a whole lot. But the other nice thing is any new old board that has tantalum capacitors on the power supplies, especially the high voltage ones, which is basically any board you'll get.
Yeah.
You want to run those in your 8800C with those switching supplies, because when those blow, and they blow in a shorted condition about half the time, I'd say, they will fuse traces, because none of these old power supplies had current limiting. Well, the Sol 20 did, but the vast majority of them had no current limiting. So you just fuse a trace on your motherboard, or you fuse a trace on the board you just plugged in, and that's not good, especially the motherboard. So I would always bring boards up and burn them in for a while. If you get something off of eBay that's a genuine old board, on something with a switching power supply like that, so that, well, anything that's smart enough to shut down when there's too much current on the DC side of things.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why
are nasty.
That's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to actually have an 8800C, because of that, that kind of stuff, and you have I have the old one, as you can see in the boxes, and I've got two. One like what's it, 220820, and then another one. I got an old one with it's 1K memory card, and I've got an 88. The 8800B has a lot of cards, different cards and stuff like that. So. But you guys are like much more knowledgeable, which will help me out to learn stuff. So this is great.
One thing I can tell you also in those power supplies is the 16 volt and the minus 16 volt are across from each other on the S100 connector. And when you stick your voltmeter in there, seeing, do I have 5 volts? Do I have this? It is so easy to short those two.
Oh, yeah.
And on the 8800B, it takes out one of those big tip transistors in the back every time.
So
be super careful if you're probing that bus. I mean, in
Yeah.
fact, don't even go near the plus and minus 16. Do it on a card.
So
Um,
a good card to build as a start is this is the extension card from S100 Computers from John,
Right.
and it has fuses in here. It has the little solid state fuses on the power rails that are all set at like 1 amp. So if your card tries to pull too much power or short anything, these will open.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
so that's it. It's an easy build, useful to have.
Wow,
This
I
is
didn't even know
also-
that existed. Yeah,
So if you
that's
go
great.
on the S100 Computers website, there are a million cards on there that you can generally find somewhere. And
Yeah,
I've used this one a
Todd
lot.
Goodman. Todd Goodman usually
sells
yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
this-
anyway, but this
another
one
thing
here
about-
is good for, like I said, if you're testing a card because the power rails are all fused with these like solid state fuses.
That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I like about that card, Tim, that I keep in one is because when you power off a system, especially if it's an older linear supply, you have to wait, or even some of the other ones, the lights on there, the LEDs will tell you when the power's gone and you can pull out a card, because you don't want to pull a card out. You want to give it time till till everything's drained out of the power supply.
Yeah. I
So you
use
just
my
gotta
most
watch
with this card at the top, which you can't get anymore.
Yeah.
One other thing you might want to do is you might want to put some sort of a guide on the side for whenever you plug your cards
yeah, there
in.
you are.
That's an interesting
So
thought.
easy for the cards to flip forward and backward.
Yeah, you can
No,
put them
that's-
in backwards. That's not a good thing. You're
Now
right.
that's Don's breakout board for the bus. It's really useful when you're trying to get a logic analyzer on the bus. He used to sell them as kits. Of course, now he doesn't. Yeah, there we go. That's another one.
Oh, there it is.
That's a different one, isn't it, Walt?
This is the one I designed. It's got fingers,
Oh, okay.
so you
Oh.
can pull it up.
Oh,
or you
finger
can
holes
put
to get it out.
strings or tie wraps
Yeah.
through the other holes, make it easier to get out.
So what we really need to do, and I know it's going to be expensive, is build one of these that's 7 inches high, so that the pins are all above the card cage and the other cards.
Well, that's easy to do.
Right, but I keep thinking that maybe I'll do one of those one of these days, because it's so annoying that I have to put it into my bus extender so that I can get it above the rest of the cards.
I can modify this design for
Yeah,
that, and actually make the holes bigger so you can put test pins in
Yeah, well,
the
this-
holes.
yeah. Don's board has little pins. It's hard to see them here, but as pins pinned for all of the bus signals, and they're all labeled so that you can then hook up your logic analyzers on here.
Yeah, the S100 bus display board is another one you want to get.
Yeah.
That's this guy.
That was really useful. Yeah.
Fun
Todd-
build too.
Todd also sells these. I'll send you an email with the link to Todd's stuff.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah, that'd
can-
be great.
yeah.
But a
Yeah,
couple of
so-
test boards like that can really make your life a little easier.
Yeah, learning experience for me for that kind of stuff. That's why I'm kind of like I was glad I found you guys, because you get nervous, and if I'm using the old stuff, I'm kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Another 6 months from now, you'll be doing demos for us.
Yeah.
I kind of really want to do that mini disc. I can't wait to do that stuff. Yeah, the mini disc. But then I got to find a disc. But then Mike sent me information on maybe I can.
Oh yeah, you
Get
can
one-
make your own, no
one.
problem.
Yeah, so make a disc.
It's
But you have to have a working Altair first.
Got to work in Altair. Just afraid to turn it on, but I will. We'll turn it on.
And have you done a lot of soldering and stuff like that yet, or you're still?
I'm pretty minimal in soldering. That's what I really want to do, because I'm like, I'm 55, so I really want to do some stuff in my retirement. So I'm trying to set up like a shop to kind of do some
Invest.
stuff.
Nothing like building your own backplane with 900 soldering connections, but when you're done, you really feel good about it.
But invest in a good soldering iron.
Yeah, it really isn't that bad once you get going at it. I start off with some of the different kits, even Arduino things, and just started soldering there. Never wanting to touch anything that was like value or unique. And then after a while I got good enough. I built one of those backplanes. Todd sells the backplane boards. Then you have to source out the actual slot, the
Connectors.
the connectors. Thank you. edge
Well, there's
connectors. And
five companies sell those edge
Yeah,
connectors.
it's not hard to find this stuff. You
No,
just
no.
go, once you get a feel for it, yeah, you
Yeah.
just
Yeah, definitely. I'll when I get my table set up and start soldering some stuff, I'll find
Yeah.
something to cheap solder to practice on again, so I can
Yeah.
get before I go expensive.
But yeah, definitely invest in a good soldering iron.
Yeah, he's
Temperature
right about
controlled
that.
soldering iron. It's worth its weight in gold.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I got one of those little Hacko or whatever.
I got a 951, is it? Is that
I
what
got
the
their 888 Hacko.
yeah,
I
there you are.
love that thing.
Yeah, mine my brother
Love that
gave
thing.
me. He had an extra. It was great. I got that, and he also gave me a Hacko, one of those hot air stations. So
Yeah.
I keep turning around, but everything's blurred. I keep forgetting about that. But yeah.
So why do you
Chris,
do that? Are you ashamed of your lab?
There it is.
no, it's a little messy.
It's
and
not
Maybe
that
yours
bad.
isn't messy. Well, Tim's
I
isn't
think,
messy,
and,
but
and,
his
and,
That
and
means
I
you're
do,
a worker.
Mine's all
and,
to the
and I
sides
do.
here.
I have Bucky up here too. He attacked me in the woods once, and
Uh,
so I tend
Yeah,
not to
but
show him too much.
yeah, my stuff's all to the sides, out of the way where you don't see it. It's not behind me.
Well, I haven't been out in the I haven't done a video out in the garage for a while, but when I get out to my storage, my stock room there, yeah, that's insanely messy. That's this is
That
just
we
an
need to
office where I
see.
work out. Yeah, well, yeah.
Think how
You see
much
what I have
better you'll make everybody else feel about their
right,
space.
right now on my bench. I have my ASR 33 in pieces. I actually was so psyched that tape punch was working. I got the tape punch working. I
Cool.
have it working. I have it 90% working. Line feed. I can't get the line feed to go. And Wayne, I can't remember Wayne Dupre. I think his last name is Wayne. Great guy. He's helping me out. He's not a fan of the tractor feeds. Because he said
is that what you have?
yeah, this one has a tractor. The other one,
That's
the
what I had
KSR,
too.
I
Yeah,
did. The
it's a
KSR I had,
nightmare. Yeah.
yeah. So I got the tractor feed is not doing a line feed for me. But then I said, well, let me skip off that. Went over I was able to punch a tape out, paper tape out. But when I went to the reader wouldn't feed. So right now I'm looking at it has a separate little power supply. I'm looking at that, and I wrote
That
Mr.
doesn't sound
Riddy.
like 90% working to me, Joe.
Well, for me,
I
it's
think you got the
90%.
9 and the 0 the wrong way round.
No. If depending on how you got to look at it where I started, it's 90%. No, well,
The
okay, maybe it's 90.
SR33 is a gift that never stops giving.
Yeah, so over and over again.
I mean, the older
And-
ones are just rock solid. The
Yeah.
Model 15s from the 1940s
Yeah.
or even the 28s. But yeah, those 33s, they run a little while, then you got to tweak them. They run a little while, then you got to tweak them.
Yeah, you're doing little hacks for because the hammer has originally had a little rubber head on it, because it's hitting the print head, and I ended up putting the tube on it,
Right.
the plastic tube, so it has something, because that's all gone.
Well, somebody made a whole bunch of those rubber heads. Wayne knows where you can get them.
Wayne sent me one or two of the ones that he had. He says he doesn't have any more from the batch, so he kept himself a few. He sent me one or
but
two,
I used the tubing like you did for a while too.
Tubing, and then Wayne sent me a couple of on the KSR with the friction feed. I needed an upstop, that little block in the back that helps with the line feed there.
Yep.
There's a little plastic. It was orange and it shattered. I didn't realize it shattered at some point, the original piece. And then once he told me where it was, I found somebody had a file for it, and I was able to 3D print it with TPA, the more rubberized
TPU.
TPU. Thank you, TPU. So I apologize. TPU is the rubberized stuff, and so I made a batch and I sent Wayne a bunch of them. Great guy. He's been awesome helping me out, man. I'll tell you. And kind of local. He's right up in Vermont, so it's I haven't gotten up to see him, but one of these days I'll see if he wants a visitor.
No, he was a big help.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's my bench has out on there, and I got a bunch of other things and pieces. I've been fighting with it's boards for Kamenko. I have a Z2 that's the chassis is all done and power supply is good, but all the boards are in my other system. I got them so they're booting. I get into RDOS with a 16 FDC, and I have a couple GoTechs, because not a single one of the drives that I've gotten for any of that stuff have worked. All those half height drives, nothing's working for me. But the GoTech, I'm able to boot up, but I cannot get it to read the double-sided, double-density images I'm getting from places. I grabbed a few from you, Mike, and a couple from Dave's computers, Dave's classic computer. I don't know, it's some other site. And so right now I'm fighting with that. Just kind of going through. Here's a badge, 32K badge that I think was his. Well,
The useful
again,
things for the Altair are like these two little devices.
oh yeah,
One is a RAM test board for the 2102s for vintage RAM chips, and the other one is an EEPROM reader for like the 1702s and 2708s and stuff like that. This works with the Altair stuff.
All right, let's go ahead. All right, so the first thing I'll do is I'll program in AMON up at F800. So you should program EEPROM. I've already turned on switch 3, so the PROM will program. And you send the file. It will do AMON. This is just the actual output from the assembler up at F800. This will tell you it's right in F800. And that's where I want it to be in the ROM, right where it's going to execute. So I'll say P to program. And it's done. Now we want to program Cutter in. It's at C1000. So I'll send Cutter straight out of its assembler. And you'll see that it comes in at C1000. However, I don't want it at C1000 in this PROM as it sits, because this is going to be Cutter and ALS8, which will end up overriding that AMON if I don't put it somewhere else in that EEPROM. So I'll put it in the bottom half of that EEPROM. So instead of being at C1000, I want it at 8000 in the current memory space, which will put it in the bottom of that EEPROM. So I can just type in a new address, and now it tells me it's going to be at 8000 instead of C1000. It doesn't execute at 8000, it still executes at C1000. No, we haven't relocated code or anything. And that's done. And then what I demonstrated finally was to put an ALS8, rather than subtract 4000 hex from that and put it at 8000, the other thing you could do would be to swap the halves of the EEPROM, which I just did over on the board. So now E1000 is really at E1000. Bottom half of the ROM, A1000, is now in memory at this instant at the E1000 location. So when I send ALS8 and it wants to be at E1000, I can just program it there. Yeah, and this one's 8K, so it takes a while. So it tells me it's going to be E1000 to FFFF, and I have swapped halves, so now that is the right address, so I just say program. And it's done. And that's it. Then you just turn switch 3 back off and you're good to go.
Thanks for doing that again. Appreciate it.
All right, my demo's done.